Hi everybody, Scott Stoltz, and I am sitting today with one of my favorite video making experts, and not just video making, but using video for her business, for her career. So we're going to get into that very shortly. I'm sitting with Meaghan Corson today. Meaghan, good to see you again.
Thank you for having me, and welcome everyone. Good to see you on the Facebook world.
Facebook world for sure, and Facebook Live has become such a big part. I mean, really video, which we're going to dive into a little bit. And the use of Facebook Live, and I'll talk a little bit today about why I like Facebook Live as opposed to recorded video. But Meaghan and I are going to share, we just recorded some videos for an educational and training series, and our second time doing that, a lot of fun, I love it, and sharing some feedback, tips, and tools around the business world. And we've talked a lot, and I've actually learned a lot by listening and speaking with Meaghan about using and leveraging video in our career. So we thought we would jump on and share some insight with you all out there in the Facebook world. And whether it's for your personal use, but hopefully maybe even more so for your business or your career, video can really help. What do you think?
Definitely. I'm excited. I mean, you guys can see the inside peek of how our setup is. You can see our cameras, lighting. I mean, just from the perspective you guys are right now looking at the camera lens, that's where Scott was, and I was sitting right over here asking him questions, facilitating the video shoot, and we got to learn a lot about emotional intelligence. That was the focus, and obviously Scott's a great expert in that, and I'm excited to just show how, I mean, really, whatever subject matter expert you are, video can help enhance, share the message, the information that you have, and make it easier for you to just put yourself out there to your callings or even to clients.
You know, Meaghan, as somebody, so you've been in front of the camera for a long time now, and you are comfortable with it. We'll talk a little bit about that too, and how comfort level can help you as you deliver videos of all different types. What are your thoughts on like where video has gone? And I mean, because just in the last like 3 years, it's really elevated. Whereas YouTube and video use was out there, but now it's almost like if you're not using video, you're behind.
For sure. I mean, there's not, it's not a surprise that YouTube is the second most used search engine on the web, and it's actually projected to even possibly surpass Google search, just because I know myself, if you're looking up a how-to, you're going straight to YouTube. You can look up how to build a website, how to ask someone out on a date, how to build a workbench. You can find anything on YouTube, and it's really incredible to see this trend, because I think this taps into a lot of how you work with people. You know, we're all humans, we like connecting with each other, we love in-person interactions, and video helps you mimic that feeling, because we can't always be there in person with meetings or just sharing your information with people. Video is the next best thing to being in person, and doing a video like this, we're able to make virtual eye connections with you. You're seeing us through this video right here, but you're also getting the information without having to physically come to us or for us to come to you, and it makes it so convenient. And I think a big reason why video, especially over the last couple of years, has really spiked for brands, even within internal communications and external communications of corporations, is that of how easy it is and how accessible it is for people, and really just allows us to connect to each other as humans more. Things like Facebook Live right here is being ranked higher in the Facebook algorithm, for example, and even Instagram just releases Instagram TV within the last 24 hours, so it really is growing more and more. And it's because we want that raw, that human connection with video, and those polished, produced videos are fantastic as well, but videos like this, where it's kind of the DIY approach in a way, it brings us closer to each other. So that's why it's only growing. It's not stopping, it's just continuing to grow.
And if you're out there watching this live now, or you catch this later in recorded fashion, drop a question, drop a comment in, and let us know. Meaghan's more of an expert on the video side, but I will say, as somebody who's used, and I love having like cameras and lighting around me, I don't do formal shoots like this that often. I do a lot of Facebook Lives, just using my phone. And it's really helped me, as a career coach, I'm able to not only share content and information and value, but I'm also able to give people a flavor or sense of who I am. Pictures are great, websites are good, copy is good, it's okay, but people really, as Meaghan was just describing, this is how we connect with others all over the country and really all over the world too. I love it. It's just such a way. Are you using, you have a mission and a vision for your business, your growth, your path, and what you want to do as a speaker. Do you have a plan built around, like, how into the details do you get with saying, okay, I'm going to use video to help me reach, either these goals or align with my mission?
Well, I love how you are talking about alignment and mission, things like that, because one thing I always tell people is that you want to present video with purpose. You don't want to pump it out just for the sake of it, because we're all so busy and there's so many things to pick from the web, and you don't want to just run yourself dry, right? You want to make sure it's done along with your business strategy, your career strategy. So to step back a little bit, as a professional speaker, I speak on video marketing and how to be great on camera and focus on how can you deliver your message, and that's where it comes into the purpose with video. What are you trying to share with that message? And share a story. And I do kind of come from a literal sense of storytelling with video. I used to be a TV news reporter with a CBS affiliate just south of Chicago, so you name it, I've covered it. Feel free to drop a question. I know people love hearing the craziest things I covered, who I've connected with, things like that. And one thing that I really love helping people do with video is forgetting the camera's even there. We're sitting here having conversation with each other and inviting for you to watch, to chime in, drop comments during this live or even afterwards for us to connect with you more. And I always share with people that when you're thinking about your business goals, you want to use video as a solution, as a way to get there, not the other way around. You don't want to produce video because, like, okay, video is the hottest trend. It is. There's a reason, of course, but video is especially powerful when you use it as one of the avenues to achieve your sales metrics, to spread brand awareness, to cover a certain point you want to make, to build connections. Just come with where's the purpose, and then how can video be one of the ways?
I'm dying to get your take on this too. There's a few things I'd love to unpack in that. So number one, though, before I forget, do you think, this is very open, you know, Meaghan and I are sharing, we're both entrepreneurs, we're building our brands. What is your take on doing videos like this where we sit down, because I've heard a lot of feedback on this, we sit down and we're delivering hopefully helpful content and information and looking to engage you, you know, drop comments in and questions later. Or do people like more of, like, I love doing these. I admit, and you know, all you who know me well know that I love doing these. But I have people tell me, Scott, loosen up, lighten up, share, do fun things. It doesn't always have to be how to. So what's your take on the balancing those two?
It's a balance of what feels true for you because you're the only Scott Stoltz, but also meeting what your audience wants, your client base, because of course you want to serve them. The videos are about you, the audience, of course, and we're just the ones delivering the message. So it's a balancing act of those ends. I know what I think is so important is to make sure that you're always keeping the client in mind. And if you know you're coming from a place of giving value, then they'll see that and appreciate it. And I would imagine by those people sharing that feedback with you, you probably are already doing that because you're getting their attention and they feel so compelled to want to root for you and to be able to help with you in some way, whether it's being feedback or compliments or wanting to set up working with you. By them wanting to engage with you on a direct level like that, it sounds like that you're able to engage and connect with people through those videos.
Yeah, no, that's great input, and you're right, and staying true to ourselves, which is really important. I mean, this is what I like to do, and as a coach, to me, I look at it like I wake up every day, my first thought and feeling is, what can I do to help others today? It truly is what it is, because that's aligned with my purpose and my mission. So, whereas I never viewed myself as an entertainer. I mean, I was never, for those of you who know me for a long time, like I was never one to seek out the camera. I didn't do selfies. I didn't want to be on video. And now I actually really enjoy it, but I want it to be something that's helpful. So I think your guidance and your advice right there is really helpful for even me. Another question. You kind of alluded to this. Is there such a thing as doing too much video? Especially like if you're on Facebook and Instagram a lot, is there such a thing as too much?
For sure. I mean, again, as long as it's done with purpose, then you can mitigate the consistency and the frequency with it. But if you're just always hopping on live because you're out somewhere, you went outside of your office and you just did one a couple minutes ago, then yes, it's too much. As long as the purpose is very clear for yourself because you're doing it, but also the audience, then it can work. So there's nothing wrong with doing a daily Facebook Live if that's what your audience wants and there's a purpose. I mean, some people will do, for example, video challenges, might do one video every day for 30 days. You're part of a challenge, there's a purpose behind it, and you have a specific message that you want to share in each video, and it's not too repetitive, then that's helpful. But if you're just hopping on it and you're just kind of winging it and hoping like, okay, well, I'm walking along the street and oh, there's a cool car that just went by and I'm going to share what I'm up to later on today, then people are kind of wondering, okay, what's the point? Am I really going to get something out of this? Whether it's to be informed or entertained, because honestly, I mean, you can use things like this with your friends and things like that too. It's not always for business. It's incredible for business, but just think about what are people trying to get out of the video? They're, they want to see like, oh, let's say you're sharing with friends and you're going on vacation somewhere. Your family and friends might be like, oh, cool. Scott is, down in Miami and he's checking out this cool restaurant. That's cool. And maybe I should, check that place out next time I'm down there. Or with a video like this, for example, people would hop in and think, okay, what's Scott doing? Okay, right away in this video, you made it clear of where you're coming from and how we're covering video within professionalism and entrepreneurship. Then people instantly know, okay, I need to keep watching. So just make it clear of what it is and then let the frequency or the consistency follow.
If you don't know Meaghan Corson yet, and I know we're going out to your community too, which is awesome, make sure you look her up because she really knows not only, and we're going to get into comfort in front of the camera, but she also knows how to strategize and build part of a business using video. So let's talk, I want to talk a little bit more about you, and then we're going to finish with a couple more topics for our audience. So as a speaker, share this, whether it's in story form or what's serving you well. What is your view on, like I know to get speaking gigs, even for me, I'm not a speaker, I'm a coach who speaks to supplement and broaden my reach. But as a speaker, where does video fall in? I know you need to be in front of the camera, but to land work, to build, because that's what we're helping the audience with too, to build your business, to broaden your opportunities. What role is video playing? What's your strategy with it?
Definitely. Well, I'd say this is helpful for any business, regardless of what kind of business you have, whether you are a professional speaker, you run a brick and mortar, you are a consultant, whatever have you. You need some sort of about us type of video. And for a speaker, you can look at the classic, the speaker reel, which is a video that showcases, your speaking, audience reactions, and testimonials, because it kind of shows the whole story of you and kind of shows proof that you're good at what you're doing. You're not just talking the talk, you're walking the walk, right? And that's what you want video to show people. Proof that, okay, he knows what she's talking about, she knows what she's doing. Here's proof that she actually does it. So with a speaker reel in particular, you want to show yourself presenting in front of an actual audience, not you on an empty stage and making it look like you are. Some people do that, and that's fine when you're just starting out, but you want to show you showing real reactions, so that way your client, which would be, for example, event planners are usually the ones who are looking at these videos and then calling me up to book me or to see if I'm a great fit for an event, because they feel much more comfortable because they've watched the video, they've seen me, they see that my image on my website matches that, yes, that's the same person. They hear more of my story and my expertise in video marketing and also being a former news reporter, and even showing what stories I might share, what points I hit, and also audience reactions, that them writing down notes, them getting up and interacting with each other, because I like keeping my presentations interactive. I literally get people up and doing stuff like this, grabbing their phones and having some fun with it. So with them seeing that, they already know, okay, this is what I'm buying, this is why I'm bringing her in, and they have fewer questions in their minds of how's this going to go. They know what kind of things that their audience members are looking for their events or their in-house workshops and things like that, and it just makes them feel that much better about contacting you. And that's what video can do. It makes it easier for them to know what are your main expertise points and what do you do for their clients.
Do you make sure anytime you speak, even if it's a smaller group, smaller venue, do you always get video?
I really do like to get video as much as possible, just because I think it's just, you never know what kind of content you're going to get. I also think it's a great way to switch up your content for social media. I know I love being able to post short clips on Instagram instead of it only being images and things like that, add a little variety. And also, it's just, some people like to see what you're up to. They like to see, okay, she's participating in some sort of event, or she's out on a video shoot and things like that. And I know, right before we hopped on here, I had pictures taken of us doing the interview with each other, and I'm going to post on Instagram and Facebook later showing that, hey, this is what I'm up to, and then share some helpful tips, because people love getting information and they love seeing what you're up to. I mean, again, the human side of connecting with you, like, who's Scott, what is he up to, what is he working on lately, because they like following on the journey with you. And I'm sure for all of you who are hopping on now, thank you for joining us, you like to see just what are they up to and just what can I get from this, whether it's entertainment or information or better yet, both.
So this is really good. This is perfect because you're speaking about what you do and how you strategize and leverage video for your work. But you're right. You mentioned this earlier. It's applicable really for any business. In today's world, no matter what you do, what would you say actually, before we go into some technique, what would you say to somebody who's got a typical Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 5:30 type job in a, let's just say, corporate setting, and there's not much use of video in what they do every day? Do you encourage people who are in those kind of careers? I know I've said to people before, try it because it's fun. You might discover more about yourself by doing videos like this. But where do you think it fits in for people who are at a desk all day and don't have a lot of opportunity? Or do you think it doesn't fit in at all?
I think it completely does. One trend that I'd like to see grow, and I actually have been working with some clients more on, is embracing video for team and internal communications, because against the human element, it's really, there are some amazing apps, whether paid or free, that you can send emails with little video clips to share people's information, use it for having kind of a personal webinar to update a team, because you might have satellite offices, whether you are a manager connecting with a team that's within your office and you want to share a video with them with just what you're up to, or even passing along information for them, or being able to have a meeting where you have people across different time zones around the country, the world. I just think it makes it so much easier for people to see your vision, hop on your message, and that's where I really see companies using video more and more. You do see at the executive level, the C-suite of using video internally, not as much as I'd like. I think that especially seeing it growing more and more on social platforms and people just preferring video to taking information anyways, you'll see it naturally more, but I would love to see more managers and individuals who work within teams, which is pretty much everyone, whether you are reporting to someone or you have people reporting to you, you're communicating with each other, and video is a great way to just kind of break up the, something that might feel mundane, or even just give people a quick update and just make it a little bit more fun. And also, it can be a more effective way to share information.
Well, and effective too, because you're right, our attention spans are shorter. And, I love to read, but I don't read nearly as much as I used to. And I constantly have my earbuds in, and I watch a lot of videos, usually from people that I'm following to learn from. But I watch a lot more videos now than I read, I admit, so that it serves us well in our day-to-day life too. What's something you would share with the audience? So what if somebody's out there and they're not really comfortable in front of the camera? Let's get into this for a moment too. So what are some things that have served you well? Maybe you always, since you were young, like to be in front of the camera and like to be in front of people. But what can we share with people about, hey, try it out. It's not as bad. Yeah, you have a little anxiety at first, but you can get comfortable with it. But what do you teach?
Well, it's kind of funny. So I wasn't the type who loved going in front of the camera, and people thought like, oh, but you've been in the news. You must have loved it. For me, I saw going in front of the camera as just part of the job. That was not my favorite part. I loved finding the stories and interviewing people and just getting the information, putting it together. And I looked at just going in front of the camera as just something I had to do because it's part of the job. I used to dread going in front of the camera. As you guys can see, I am young, and I look even younger than my age. And that was a challenge for me when I first was in news, because I was so paranoid about people taking me seriously. I wanted to be seen as someone who was a great news source, someone who you can take valuable information from, and someone for people to get interviews with is someone who is worth sharing information with. So without going into too much, but I found a way to kind of overcome and change that mindset and say, you know what, I can actually make that an asset. I can make I come off as more approachable, enthusiastic. Some people kind of, they feel the energy from me with the way I am. And sometimes by being and looking younger, you might come off as a little bit less intimidating. So I just thought of the positives, and it made going in front of the camera more fun for me. So I want you to think about whatever challenges you have going in front of the camera, whatever your concerns are. We're our own worst critics, right? You're like, I don't want people to see me. I don't want to say something stupid, or I don't know what to even say, or I've never done this before. I don't want to do my first Facebook Live and no one shows up, or I don't want to do a video and then people critique and tell me how I could have done it better. Take whatever challenges or whatever reasons you're worried about going in front of the camera, literally write them down and think about, okay, how can I change this? How can I overcome it? Or how can I make it an asset? And you'll realize just by doing that, it makes it seem like not a big reason anymore. Mm-hmm. And also, one thing I like people to keep in mind is that when someone clicks the play button watching this video, people are rooting for your success. They want to be excited about watching your video. They want to be informed or entertained. No one clicks on the video hoping like, oh, I hope this interview that Scott's doing with Meaghan is horrible. I'm going to keep watching. You know, you guys would tune out if it wasn't valuable for you, right? Mm-hmm. But you guys are coming in, you're getting great information, and you're excited about learning from Scott, learning from me. So just come from that perspective that people want you to do well, and we're always going to critique ourselves more. And if someone is negative about the way you do videos, then that's someone that you probably don't want to connect with anyways or do work with.
And I'm assuming that all this that you're teaching now really serves you well, and it's what you take with you when you're on stage and doing a talk, and that's just another way, thinking back to the beginning of your career when you wanted to get noticed for the right reasons because you were good at your job. Now, as a speaker, that's just another way for you to bring your knowledge, your skills, your talents to other people, right?
Definitely.
And it doesn't faze you like when you look to the back of the room. You used to be in front of a news camera, and now there's other cameras videotaping you and everything. So speaking of learning, let's wrap with this, the last couple of minutes. So you and I, and Meaghan and I are going to be putting together some videos this summer to bring to you, to bring to all of our platforms and audience, to share and to teach a little bit. And we're going to be, in the coming weeks, we're going to roll out teasers about what we will be sharing. So, engage with us. And what would be really helpful is if you let us know ahead of time, what are you looking for? What do you want to learn about as it relates to video and your business, or your business and video? Because I like the way, one of the reasons Meaghan and I are partnering is because I'm an entrepreneur who's new to video, and I need and want to use it, and I love to use it. You have a little bit more background on it, and it serves you well. So I think we complement each other with our level of experience, and I'm looking forward to working with you on that.
Definitely. I mean, video, again, is just one of the ways of using communications, and obviously you help people with their, their careers, their fulfillment in that way, and being able to communicate and interact with their colleagues and themselves. And I think that we meld the way, nicely that way too, because it really just comes all down to communications, and video is just one of the ways to communicate.
Absolutely. So what would you want to leave? I usually do a call to action. Sometimes I forget. I fully admit, sometimes I forget at the end of a video to do a call to action. I'm going to put it on you to leave a call. Well, actually, I know I already threw one out there, but I'm still going to have you do one. Please let us know what you want to see and hear from Meaghan and I this summer that can help you in your business and with video making. What would be something you would share with everybody out there that you may coach other people on and clients on, that to get them either started or continue to move forward in leveraging video?
Definitely. Well, outside of sharing your comments of what you want us to put together for you, I would say the biggest thing with video is just getting started. That first time going in front of the camera is usually the worst, and usually it's not as bad as you would think. So you don't need to start off with a live like this, definitely not, but just literally grab your phone and shoot a video. You can just do a selfie, no one has to see it. Just think of a couple points you want to make, introduce yourself, and just go for it. And then you can watch it later, and yes, you can kind of laugh like, that was kind of silly, or I didn't know what I was doing, but just get yourself used to going in front of the camera so that way it's not intimidating. I mean, we're used to just having our phones like attached to us at the hips, right? So we're not scared of these. So I mean, it's just a matter of just hitting a button instead. It's still the same thing that you have in you all day. And again, no one has to see how many times you tried or things like that, but just get yourself used to it, and that little steps add up to big steps.
I love it. And I love just do it. Like a lot of things in our life and in our career, we just have to start. Action alone is really the biggest step, and then everything else, we figure out the how. We often figure out the how. So Meaghan, where can people find you? Let's remind everybody.
Definitely. Well, you can go to my website. It's meaghancorson.com. That's spelled MEAGHANCORSON. And if you like daily tips on video marketing, going on camera, or even personal branding when it comes to going on video, then you can follow me on Instagram. That's one of my favorite platforms. I love Facebook Live as well, but I've been playing around a lot with Instagram as well. So you can find me at Speaker Meaghan. That's SpeakerMeaghan right on Instagram. And I'd love to connect with you and to share some great info.
There's real quick, thanks for sharing all that, is Instagram, you can't do more than a minute. Is that right? And is that changing with Instagram TV? Do we know?
I don't know the full details for TV, but it does let you go longer now with that. Okay. I know that right now you'll see the icon there. It looks like a little TV screen with a little zigzag, like a lightning bolt in there, and you'll see that at the top of it now. Of course, Instagram, with it being new, it's favored at the top, and within the algorithm, it's going to bump those up more when you're scrolling through feeds. You'll not only see stories, but you'll see those Instagram TV, those live pieces there that people post, and it seems like they'll be going away too, like Instagram stories, where they're not there forever. But it's another fun way to kind of mimic the live feeling that these Facebook Lives have in a different way from the Instagram Live that they've had before. So it's exciting. I mean, just seeing new things like that, guys, you know that video's here to stay, and that all these different platforms are just finding more ways to capitalize on the trends.
So true, so true. So please, check out Meaghan online, a ton of value. If you watched even just a portion of this video, I'm sure you saw and heard it. She's got a lot to offer. And stay tuned. Like I said, remember, comment, throw us questions and topics that you would like to learn about. She's got a lot of knowledge. I have some. I definitely have a lot of experiences, good and bad, including my camera's falling. How about that one? Right in the middle of interviews. So we'll be back soon to share more with you. Meaghan, thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.